Welcome back, everybody. Terrell and Stevie here. We're here to talk about The Last of Us, episode 4 of season 2. And I have been waiting all week to get to talk to you about this episode. It's been the highlight of my week so far, getting to break down this show and talk to you about one of the as you get the unravel season 2 episode, Last of Us 2 through the episode show, because you didn't finish the second game, right?
No, not all the way through. No.
So all of this is like a genuine surprise to you. Like you have no idea like what's coming up. Whereas I'm expecting certain things. Like so, I think that's one of the most exciting things about talking with you, doing this recap, review, spoilers. Of course, for those who didn't know, we got to say it every episode. We talk spoilers throughout this as we're recapping the show. But yeah, I think that definitely gives this a little bit more something extra, like you generally not knowing where this goes. Whereas like I have a level of being spoiled, but it's also like what do I expect from this? This episode is directed by Kate Herron, who does episode 4. And you had mentioned something to me before we started this, which something I don't know how I didn't remember, maybe because it's voiced not the character the same, but you were just telling me that Jeffrey Wright, who's in this episode, also plays Isaac Dixon in the show as well. That's how you do it. That's how you're supposed to do it right there. This is like if you have the ability to bring in somebody that voices a character, and he doesn't even have to look similar to that character or whatever, but this is exactly how you do it. We get an A-list actor, an Oscar-winning actor, to come in and revisit a voice acting role. I love that they were able to do this. Like you just said, they were able to bring in a few other characters that were in the video games to the show, whether they played the same role or a different role. But this has been pretty cool, man. I did not. I'm sitting here like I was not expecting to see Jeffrey Wright today in episode 4 of season 2. And like I said, it's been so long since I played the game. It just completely hit me in the face. Well, for those who don't know how me and you were doing this, we start off. So we let you know, we give you our initial how our feelings about it, and then we break down the episode because you came here to have a whole after school special with us as we break it down and discuss every part in detail, any hidden stuff throughout the stuff that we might have missed, and then we wrap it all up with final thoughts. But we're gonna start off again with you as usual. What do you think about this episode?
I really enjoyed it. I like this episode. I thought it was really good. I thought it was entertaining. I like the surprises because there is some stuff that I don't know from the game. So I was super excited to see that. There were some moments where I was like, oh shit. Okay. Yeah, so I thought it was good. I like the action that we see. I like the twist. If you haven't seen it. So it's a good.
I would say I can't think of any better network or whatever to have picked up the adaptation of the show. Forget everything that everybody's saying. Regardless if you think it's good or not, if the video game didn't exist and they would have dropped this, I think it would be even better. I almost hate that it has source material first and not like an original. It wasn't a show first and then a game later. I kind of wish that, but then at the same time, because I also have a level of expectation in my head about how I want the story to go and things that could have been improved upon in the game, which I think this is a good opportunity to do so. But like I said, I almost wish that didn't exist because on its own, I think this show is doing a phenomenal job. I think the casting that they have put together for this show for Who's Who has been on point. I was a little hesitant about Joel. Forgot the guy's name. Who's playing Joel? The lead character, though, who was Joel.
Oh my god, why did I forget?
I was about to say Oscar Isaac.
It's not him. Why did I forget? He's like the most popular guy right now. Pedro Pascal. Oh my god.
Pedro Pascal, the guy, the everyman guy. He is the Hispanic Rock of the movie industry right now.
I cannot believe I forgot his name.
I don't think he's Hispanic, but like he has taken like every single thing, like anything that's being put on the table. Like you'll probably be watching something at random and like, yo, Pedro Pascal's in this. Like this is how how saturated like Pedro has been in Hollywood in the last like 5 to 10 years. Like
That happened to me. I'm sorry, I got a sidetrack. That happened to me one time. I was rewatching Buffy, and he's in Buffy,
Are you
the
serious?
Vampire Slayer. Yes, I was like, "Is that Pedro Pascal?" Oh, it is.
I'm assuming without a beard.
Yeah, no, he's super young.
I don't think any of the vampires. Maybe I'm tripping. Did any of the vampires in Buffy the Vampire Slayer have beards? I feel like they did. And I'm.
No, I just don't know.
I don't
They're
know
all
why,
like
like, the vampires
preteens.
can't grow beards. But yeah, this episode I thought does an incredible job. Hit a lot of the moments that I remember from the game very, very well. Took its time with about 53-minute runtime, and it hits a lot of points and puts a lot of extra nuance on some of the moments, particularly the guitar scene that we'll get to. But just man, this is a great episode. Like I thought, what happened last week's episode? It was them deciding to go on the journey. Man, I mean, again, we talked about how that was a slow episode intentionally, but man, this picks it right up, man. It gets starts off crazy, and we're about to obviously get into that right now.
Did you notice that they changed the intro?
No, I did not notice that.
Yeah, they changed the intro. So I think the first time we watched it, because I pay attention to them because HBO does this a lot with like Game of Thrones, but they changed the intro the first episode where it had Ellie and Joel, but this one now they just changed it to Ellie. At the end it shows Ellie only at the end, so that's pretty cool.
I'm gonna write that down too, because like maybe the other, like it's like a different title card that they're doing. Check intro.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe the next one will show Dina. We don't.
Yeah, know. I'm definitely have to go back and watch the other one. It's Ellie and Dina show now, baby. It's Ellie and Dina show. So we start off the episode, and we get the I guess title card showing us this is 2018 in the quarantine zone. We see Federal soldiers, and right off the bat, do we see Josh Peck, Drake and Josh in the show. Now, I will say, Josh has incredible range as an actor. Not and he also has really good comedic timing. He's gotten weirder as he's gotten older, but that's allowed. But in the stuff that I have seen, he has done an incredible job. Now, he didn't get a lot of time in this episode for obvious reasons because he got blown up. But were you obviously surprised like getting to see Josh in this episode?
Yeah, I think it's totally random. So I'm like, is he in this because he's like a fan or something?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was totally random. I'm like, is that Josh? Drake and Josh? What? Like, why is he here? But it was good to see him.
I feel like anytime like they try to like do like other actors, like they like usually make them wear a helmet, or they have like something like kind of how did they do in Star Wars? Like, oh, I was in the episode, but they made me wear a helmet. I was like, then you weren't in Star Wars.
Yeah, they did that with Game of Thrones too. I think Ed Sheeran was in Game of Thrones or something like that as a cameo.
Where were you with your cup of coffee, Ed Sheeran? I didn't see you. But we, like I said, we're in the car, we're in the van or the tank with the federal soldiers, and they explaining the story about the voters and why they call them voters. And now I remember his name, Jeffrey Wright. His character Isaac Dixon comes into play and explains, in a very would you say sinister? Was it sinister or just kind of voice about like why like we see them stop and confront citizens or voters because they say their rights are being taken away, which is why they make that joke. And then we just see a complete heel turn from Isaac as he kills his fellow Federal soldiers and keeps one alive.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about that. Obviously, I love the way they did this. It was completely brutal. Killed one. I for sure. They didn't say his name. It was written on his vest. But I was for sure he was dead right in that scene. Again, I don't think this is one of those moments that are shown in the game. As I say every week, I really don't remember his particular character having that level of backstory to a certain extent, because they usually, I mean, we usually don't in the games. It's like, okay, here's the villain. You usually don't get a lot of time to go into that, but we're getting a little bit more. We still don't know anything, but man, was this done well? Were you surprised by this whole heel turn by Isaac in the turn, or were you expecting them to just shoot all the citizens?
Yeah, no, I'm surprised, and I do like that because, like, in video games, you don't really get to see some backstories for some
unless you're like the main
villains.
character,
Yeah, exactly. So I do like that this is that they are expanding on it. Like, I feel like that this needs to be a show so you could expand on it like a little bit more. So I do enjoy that. But yeah, I was surprised by that. I didn't expect that to happen.
Absolutely.
And also I think the woman that came up to him also was an HBO person. She was in Euphoria. She was Cassie's mom in Euphoria.
Really?
Sure. Yeah.
Man, they like to recycle actors, man. Like, they recycle. Hey, you got a job here for 10 years, whatever show we got. I wonder if that's how the contracts work, because it do seem like that sometimes. Like, actors will be dedicated to one specific network or streaming service. Like, anybody you see on Peacock NBC, they float around the other Peacock NBC shows. And I got a feeling like it has to be some type of studio deal or something like that.
Oh yeah, either that or like they know them and want to use them, because you can even say that for Pedro Pascal, because he was in Game of Thrones too. So it's like now he's in another HBO show.
He died, right? Yeah. So I guess so. Yeah, HBO be hooking people up, man. Put me on.
Yeah,
let me get an extra
exactly.
Give me $20 in the Snickers. I'm there.
I'll be an infected person. I'll go run around. Just put me in there.
I'm gonna try to get in all the scenes. They're gonna fire me. So yeah, man. We see your boy Josh. He gets killed, and it doesn't have but a few minutes. Everybody's caught off guard because you dropped 2 grenades and locked the truck. Why are you able to lock that from the outside?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense, I guess, for the type of van it is, because it's like, prison transport or military transport. So I guess that makes sense.
Is it prison transport?
I believe so. I believe there's like prison, like how they would transfer prisons and stuff like that. But maybe I could be wrong. I mean, obviously, guys, if you watch this, let me know or drop a comment. Correct me on that for sure. But yeah, so we get that awesome scene in the beginning. Isaac, daps up the woman of this town, saves the one guy, makes him make a choice. I mean, obviously, don't kill me.
Why did he make that choice?
Why did he pick him, or why did he make that choice?
Yeah, why did he pick the guy? I missed it.
I think because I think in the way, and that's definitely, I'm glad you mentioned that he was looking at him like he was almost reading him, and was kind of seeing like he was different from these other guys, as they're joking around, making these whatever, yada, they're not taking it serious. Like, we have this one guy that's completely unmolded to a certain extent. Like, he still, this is all new to me. Like, he doesn't get the joke. It seems like he doesn't really understand some of like what's going on in the world from what they show in a few seconds. So I think that he did see that and gave him the opportunity, because he wasn't, I guess, quote unquote, a bad guy. Or this could have been his first mission, his first time he hadn't been involved in that. And you can tell, because I think anybody else that would have got out that truck, which is why he chose him specifically, would have probably shot that woman on sight.
Oh, true. Okay.
And would have shot him.
Yeah.
But I think if you take at least one of them out, you have an opportunity to kind of disarm them a little bit by that situation. And you can tell, I mean, obviously he was completely caught off guard, like, oh man, like, yeah. But obviously we see him later, and he's dedicated to the cause.
Yeah, he drank the Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Thanks for saving me, Dad.
We get that makes so much sense.
Absolutely. We get an 11-year time skip from where we are in 2018, which pushed the timeline at what, 2029?
Yeah.
So, what's crazy?
We're getting close.
Yeah, that seems real feasible. But at that point though, because when did the outbreak happen? Was it like 22 or 21 or something like that? Because there's a sizable gap here. So yeah, because Ellie's like a teenager at that point,
Yeah.
and so yeah, because it's a good what, like 6 or 7 years.
But didn't
So
the outbreak happen in when they were in 2018? That's why Fedra's there.
oh, duh. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, that would have happened at that point. So I'm gonna go back and look at it because I want to say it happened a lot earlier. I want to say that for Ellie to be the age that she is, it would have happened a lot earlier. And I'm gonna look that up as we go through this too. So yeah, 11 years in the present. Dina, they are in Seattle. This is day one of Seattle. This is the first day. Jesus Christ! Like if it's like this, I'm going back home. Day one in Seattle. They are searching for supplies in the store. Dina makes a joke, comes across some Mondstadt. I guess I would probably think there would be a lot of yeast infections in the post-apocalyptic world where you can't really take baths and showers as much and clean yourself the way you're supposed to and clean your clothes, so things are touching things that shouldn't be touching.
No.
You want to keep some level of humanity.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Not have Mondstadt or just
both, all that.
Now that we're on the topic, what is something that if the world were over to this extent that you could not go the rest of your days without? Like essential to you.
Essential to me?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like you would want there to still be like an ice cream place still open that only makes that ice cream for you, or like you somehow, some way they still make video games in the post-apocalyptic world.
Maybe that or something. Oh God, I don't know. I gotta think about it. What would you pick?
I guess at this point it has to be real. I wish there was like some level of like a replicator or something like that, or a 3D printer that never breaks and never runs out of material. That would be perfect for surviving that. A 3D printer that I have unlimited material, or I have the material to use.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart. I would probably pick. I need running water. I just want the comforts of a house. Like you could just leave me there and I'll be fine. That's what I need.
You just got affected, so you can't eat your favorite foods anymore, or anything like that. Like
if I'm affected, I'm dead. Like, you know.
So it looks like that the outbreak happened in September 2020.
Okay.
Which made this game even more popular, whatever, because like all of that was happening, like it was another reference, pandemic. Like Last of Us. I feel like a lot of stuff, art, life imitates art. A lot of stuff was starting to catch up with like real life events, which makes this even more scary. Because like when you give things dates that are attainable, you start to panic a little bit. 2012. You think about 2020. Nobody knew 2020 was happening, but just stuff like that. And yeah, so she would have been. She's got to be like 20 something. So she would have had to been like what, 14 or 15 in The Last of Us 1. So if this, so we're talking 9 years. At least from when that happened. No, now my timeline's messed up. I'm sorry. I got off track. the timeline's completely bad. I'm definitely do some homework. But we come across like Ellie and Dina in the store. They're going through Seattle. They come across the music store where we get the infamous scene from the video game where Ellie plays and sings a song. And no disrespect to Bella Ramsey. But I don't think that's her there, like
singing.
Yeah, like it was well done for the moment. I don't think it was by means terrible, but I think Ashley Johnson is a singer. In the video game, absolutely kills it, and because I think she could actually sing. So, so this was a little rough. Like I still got the sentiment in the scene. I was still teared up. I was feeling it. And as we see, Dina tearing up, she's emotional. And first time this is obviously not the first time that she's heard Ellie sing.
Yeah.
What were you going through? What were you feeling in this episode here? I mean, this part of the episode.
Yeah, I did really like this. I like the emotion behind it, and now, like, especially when you find out later, like, you could definitely see Dina's
Yeah,
emotion, why she's emotional and stuff like that, you know? And, seeing somebody sing, I mean, that could make anybody emotional. Music
yeah.
is a powerful thing, you know? Can make
Nobody's ever
anybody
sang to me.
feel some type
Yeah,
of way. Hmm?
nobody's ever sang to me that I didn't pay for. So
Yeah.
I mean, they're not singing to me. I'm in the audience, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
I feel like that to me with people that you know, and maybe like depends on like with the level you're at. I feel like I would be awkward to me, you know what I mean, or weird
Mhm.
because I'm again you're not used to like if somebody just broke out in the song, like what are you doing, like, and you found out like they actually can sing, like oh that's I feel like that's different. But if you're singing and it's terrible, that's yeah. But but no, I really like this scene. They did a really good job of creating it.
Yeah.
The environment itself, they can do a really good job with the set design. This looks so spot on. Like
Yeah, it
that scene in the game,
does.
so spot on. I wrote that
Mhm.
down. I was like, man, they've done an incredible job, whether it was CGI or real life. They did an incredible job of really mirroring that scene. The sunlight coming through the store,
Yeah. It was
all of that was
beautiful.
shot beautifully. Like
Mhm.
they really got it. That's why I'm like, man, this just we haven't even gotten anything to whatever yet. And this like I said, we're really a really good part of this episode. And we also get to expand a little bit more on Dina and Ellie.
Yeah.
Which increase the stakes because man, you don't want to see nothing bad happen to Dina.
No,
You know, at
I
this point, like
love Dina. I
you
love
don't
her
want to
so
see nothing bad.
much.
So at this point, if something would have happened to Dina, I'd be mad. I'm not watching the show anymore. I'm on strike
Yeah.
because we're
She's
falling off.
really good. I really like her actress. It's really
Yes,
good.
yes, like she is definitely bringing she's bringing something to that character that I don't remember seeing. I do remember her being extremely like positive and have kind of like that bright, cheerful kind of persona. Like no matter no matter where you're at in the room, like she can kind of turn stuff around there. But yeah, her actress like Isabella Merced, she definitely brings something to that role that I 100% was not expecting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love Team Dana. But see, Ellie sings "Take on Me" by Aha. Was that the original song that was played?
I don't know. I don't remember. I thought maybe you did. I don't
No,
remember
I'm like,
actually.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure they still get do they still get what's the word copyright whatever if they're not using if they're playing it like an kind of almost an original version.
Mm. HBO got money though. They'll be
Yeah.
okay. They'll be okay. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind.
So no, I just answered my own question that quickly.
Mm.
It's a song called "Through the Valley" that is sang by Ashley Johnson.
Is that the one that's in the game?
Yes,
Um.
last verse 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah, I also thought that was a story. I'm trying to
Mhm.
see, trying to make sure I didn't forget this one thing. And I'm a liar because that is definitely the song. So apparently, it's two different songs. Glad I fact
Oh.
glad I fact checked before I got berated in the comments. Yeah. But no, this scene is so wonderful.
Yeah,
The
beautiful.
Dana crying, everything, just great scene. Just start of a great day. We gotta start off great before it gets bad, right?
Yeah.
Um,
It's always like that.
we cut to the scene where we see Dixon doing a full body naked interrogation. I feel like you don't gotta take my clothes off, man. If you already, yeah, I get it, man. You don't gotta do all that. Like you could just go ahead and beat me up, and you don't gotta have me on the floor naked and cold while you're
Mm.
beating me. So we get to see a little bit more of where Jeffrey Wright's character Isaac Dixon is, and apparently he's the man. As this guy gets tortured with his full penis out because HBO
Yeah.
spared no expense on that. Hey man, look, he's gonna be the guy known for that for a while. People probably forget him because you got makeup and stuff on. People probably don't know what you look like. Nobody's gonna remember.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a prosthetic penis anyway. You know what I mean?
And it's HBO. I feel like everyone's naked on HBO at some point. You know,
HBO, Showtime, FX. Those are
Prime too, maybe. The Boys.
And Netflix. Like I feel like Netflix is a little bit more whatever about it, but now that we're in like this age of streaming, like you have no restrictions of network television. You can go ahead and show full whatever. Like if it's done for artistic purposes and not just because you want to. Yeah. So it makes sense to the scene. Yeah. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, but this is crazy. What you think about just seeing Isaac kind of torture this guy as we see Homeboy, whose name again we don't get, outside the hallway talking to him, because we all know that they're all a part of the wolves now. Federal, like all now wolves. What do you think about this entire torture scene and trying to get this information out of the scars about where they were? Because obviously we now know that they killed those people that were on the path, that little girl with the red hair, everything. But if they try to get more information as to where their base was, what was going through your head on this one?
Is that what they were trying? Is that what they were trying to get information? What their base was?
Yeah, they were trying to torture them for where the other scars were.
Got it. Yeah, I thought this was also a pretty interesting scene. I guess you could definitely see that Jeffrey Wright's character is the villain in this moment.
Yeah, a little ruthless there.
Yeah, crazy, just burning people with pots and stuff like that. Also, like a cooking person. He knows so much about pots too, different kinds of pots to use for cooking. But yeah, no, I thought it was a really good scene. There was also like an interesting line, and maybe I got it wrong because I don't do well without subtitles, but I think one of the wolves says that the guy who's being tortured says, people leave the wolves. They don't or something along those lines, or they don't leave whatever their group is. So I thought that was interesting. So it's like, yeah, people are leaving what you're doing, and you kind of see that later because you see that people are kind of questioning Isaac's methods of torture.
Don't worry about this.
Yeah, should we be doing this type thing? So I just thought it was an interesting scene and want to see more of where this goes.
I think what's interesting about shows like The Last of Us, The Walking Dead, those end of the world type things is I don't think, especially with groups like this, that they're necessarily the villains of the story. It's just that the wolves, Fedra, stuff like that. It's just the manner in which it's being handled through a different perspective, right? Everybody's doing the same thing at the end of the day. Everybody's trying to survive, and whether that be to align yourself with a gang, a group, an affiliation, to do that for the resources, or you're out and about, you're by yourself, like Tommy and the crew, where they're on their own surviving without having to deal with the laws of this new government. But I don't think anybody necessarily is like a villain in this story. Everybody's really dealing with this in the most potentially positive way possible, and surprised everybody's just not drugged out or shoot themselves, which a lot of people have done in the first season. But I think the whole point, like I said before, of The Last of Us is showing you the different perspectives of each, through the eyes of each of these individuals, to see we're all kind of in the same circle. Everybody's pretty much crossed the line that they can't go back to, kid, whatever. But we're on the same circle for nobody's necessarily the villain, and that's what you see with the relationship between Ellie and Abby as this goes on. Abby is mad because Joel did something terrible to her, and now Abby has done the same thing in return. And where do we break that cycle?
That chain.
Right, yeah. And that goes for all of these groups: the Scars, the Wolves. They're trying to figure out a way to survive. As you see, they still have some level of morals and whatever, because the way they talk to the little girl in the last episode, so they still have some level of care. They're not completely crazy.
Yeah.
But I just thought that was interesting. Just the way the show does, I think, a pretty good job of showing that the way the story the story is told through the game and giving us a little bit more of that. The Dina and Ellie, we walk into the building where we find a bunch of the wolves being hanged, which is crazy. I wonder how they did that. I wonder if there was like real bodies. They had to be like, they couldn't have been real people, obviously.
No, I don't think so. That would be crazy.
They looked a little too real. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
As they're going through and they're trying to identify if Abby is one of the bodies or any of the crew are one of the bodies, so they can kind of cross off their list as they go on. Which was, in hindsight, this whole mission is ridiculous. Like needle in a haystack. Like
yeah,
and exactly where they're going back. I mean, I know Dina gave her the information, but I'm like, this shouldn't have worked.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and it is so much, man, that you get to like that you have to go through before you even find Abby and go through that. And I think too, the game makes you play through both of them, which again, like I said, getting perspective on the situation to put you in the driver's seat of them as you make those choices to kill, as you make those choices to do certain things. Now the story is still the story, that doesn't change, but just how you play, because you can completely snake past people and keep it moving, or you can just kill everybody, like unless the game makes you play. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I'm hoping, even though we didn't get it in this episode, that we do get next episode is an Abby episode, because I think we do need that at this point, or find a almost. I mean, I understand how they were going to do it, but they could have kind of cut it in between this too. But they did it perfectly. I think adding anything to it would have ruined the flow of why this episode works so well.
Yeah, I think if maybe if they had more episodes like in a season, maybe we could have gotten something where it's like, okay, we show from this point of view and that point of view. Because they used to do that in Walking Dead too. Like they used to show different points of views from different things that was happening too. But they also had longer episodes and they also had more episodes to work with. So, maybe if they would have that, you would see that more.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, man.
So we get the wolves coming, the wolves reinforcements coming in. They got their order from Isaac, yada yada yada. While in the middle of doing that, Ellie and Dina are trying to get the hell out of there. It was absolutely insane.
Very reminiscent of the game too, when they were hiding out and stuff like that, and she does that little stealth kill.
Yeah,
she just like stabs the guy in the neck. Yeah.
When I tell you, I was sniping everybody inside. Like I was just like I must have put bodies down in that game. Because like I had this stealthy approach, but I think the second one makes it a little bit easier because like in the first one, your supply of like even like with the knives, like they break.
Yeah.
So you have to like you have like a set number of those. Right. But in the second one, I feel like again it's been a minute, but like maybe like I feel like they don't really. I bring it up because I feel like they don't really create that sense of limited supply.
Yeah.
Like we got, because they were blasting bullets into when
infected later. Yeah,
I'm like, oh, okay, like I'm like, you gotta do what you gotta do, but I'm like, man, I probably went 1, 2. Okay, how many was that? 4. So I got 3 in the bag. But before we even get to the train car, we definitely see a little bit of Dina and Ellie in combat and how they work together, and we see. I honestly thought that we were gonna see where like Dina was gonna hesitate to shoot the guy, and she is 100% down for the cause, 100%. That is her girl.
She is.
Yeah, she is down. Like she shot him without, and then Ellie comes in, stabs homie in the neck. I'm like, okay, she's choking him out. It's absolutely crazy. And then Dina and Ellie go into the tunnel, and this is where we get the scene where we see all the infected. I was so happy they were able to do this. I was so happy they were able to do this scene. This was really, really well done. Really well done. Oh my god! I look. I know this episode's going to get like good reviews. This was really well done. The lighting, the sound, the you could literally feel the fear, man. Like, oh my
Yeah.
this was intense. Like everybody's getting taken out. I wish they would have shown more of the Fedra soldiers kind of getting. I feel like they kind of cut and they were just gone. But I mean, I guess that's just it. What were you feeling on this? Like, how do you what you think about this scene? How well they had it done?
Yeah.
And do you think the next episode is going to let us down? No, go ahead.
No, I don't think the last. I hope that was next episode doesn't let us down. But no, I thought this scene was really, really good. I definitely felt very Oh my god! Again, my claustrophobia could never. When they were crawling through that little tunnel.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! I would die. I couldn't. I would panic. I would never survive in this world ever. But when I saw all those infected come and they're in the train cars, stuff like that, it was so good, amazing. I like the red, the flares, lighting does so much for a scene.
That was awesome.
So good, amazing.
Really, like I said, they is there in the car blasting bullets, like trying to get away. And I always want to know Dina threw up earlier in the scene for the second or third time at this point. Which yeah. But again,
we'll find out why.
Them getting through the tunnel, them going through the infected. This was really well done. Like I said, Kate Herron directed the episode. If you guys didn't hear me the first time, we see they're trying to get out of the subway. They go through the turnstile. The junk call them, and Dina needs more time because she's absolutely stuck. And we see Ellie basically reveal her entire secret by letting the infected zombie person bite her.
Yeah.
This was crazy. I don't remember it playing out like that. Or was it like Ellie just saying, "Oh, I'm immune"? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just telling her like early.
It's kind of crazy if that's like her best friend if she doesn't know already.
Yeah. You feel like you were entitled to that?
If it was a really close friend, maybe I would tell somebody. Like,
you were a superhero.
That's just me.
No. So you reveal your secret identity to your best friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You never know what shit's gonna happen. Okay. It's the apocalypse, like because of reasons like this we see later.
I want to point something out in this scene where Ellie puts the arm in front and to get bitten. You literally see the change in Dina's eyes and how scared she is. Like, yo, I'm gonna have to do this. And you see, like, you can see how sad that she is going through the scene right now.
Yeah.
And pissed. And I thought that was interesting because, like, as soon as we get out of here, they walk into an Amanda movie theater. And as soon as we get in there, here comes the gun out.
That's why you never tell your best friend. So this stuff don't happen.
What if she had pulled that trigger? What if she had pulled the trigger? I was thinking this was a really well done scene. This was a really intense. I thought she was going to shoot her, and I knew. I mean, obviously, she's the main character. She's not going to shoot her, but I thought she was going to shoot her. That's how it really was to me.
Would you shoot?
Well, you would have been shot. You would have been shot before we got out the subway. But again, what I was saying earlier, like Dina being down to the cause, I'm sure they have like a protocol, like on site. Hey, yeah, shoot me, XYZ. But you could tell, obviously, how much Dina loves Ellie by that level of hesitation. Because again, she would have been shot by anybody else on site. People freak out. That's why she at least started getting the tattoos, and she started like burning herself, stuff like that. To cover the price. Why do you keep getting bit? Is my question. Why you keep getting bit in front of people at that?
Yeah, in that exact same spot. That's probably her dominant hand.
I feel like you got to keep explaining this to people. Like, I wonder. We off track for a second, but I wonder why Ellie is continuing to keep that secret. I think Tommy knows.
Tommy knows,
sure his wife knows. But why hide it from the community? Like, why do you think people would freak out, or
The community I could maybe understand, like maybe hiding it from, because I feel like how are people going to take that if people are going to believe her?
Yeah.
But like a friend, you could kind of convince them. You can kind of convince your friend, like, hey, these are bite marks. Don't tell anybody, but I'm immune. Don't tell anybody. No, I love you. Like, I think you could definitely do that. But a community, I don't know if people would understand, or yeah, I don't even know. I don't think they would understand it.
So I'm counting at least like 4 times that Elliot's gotten bitten.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The initial, I feel like she got bit again with some point in her journey with Joel. Yeah. I can't remember. Maybe once, and then and then obviously here. So maybe it was just 3.
There was 2 this season. She got bit like on her stomach or something.
Oh right, I forgot about it. Okay, so 4. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So at least 4.
Yeah.
God, they got to do better. You only get one life. But yeah, so we get the scene with Dina pointing the gun at Ellie, like, "Yo, chill the fuck out." let me explain this to you real quick. I should have said something earlier. I'm gonna sit on this couch and manage this up. If I wake up and go ahead and shoot me. I wonder. This was clearly not that far. Like, it wasn't that long after she fell asleep. She must have been a couple hours, maybe. There's no way Dina like stayed up all night, and pretty much watched over her after everything they just went through. But I could imagine that, like, obviously she's not knowing, but thinking that everything is pretty much done, like everything is over, like you just lost your best friend, like somebody you really love, like, and now pretty much like she's now giving you a silver lining, saying, "Look, I'm good, I'm good here, so don't shoot me." But I thought them making Dina make that choice to hold that gun on her was really well done. Like, and show like this is potentially like Ellie's about to get shot. I feel like she's about to die every episode, but
she got plot armor. She ain't dying.
Yeah, as we know. But yeah, like I said, forcing Dina to make the choice to shoot her by letting herself get bit in front of her was crazy. Ellie wakes up. Dina reveals that Ellie reveals that she's good. It's happened before. Dina reveals that she is pregnant, or she thinks she's pregnant by who, Mr. Jesse himself, because
big old happy family.
Yeah, big Mr. Jesse. And then we get Dina pretty much explaining, like, look, I thought I lost the potential future I wanted to have, where I still raised this kid, and it's with me and you, not me and Jesse. Like, Jesse's cool, but he can come be a stepdad. He can come over sometimes. Again, this is one of those things in movies. Like, if this was like a theatrical thing, I'm like, oh yeah, Dina's dead. Because the moment you start revealing your future and you wanting to get back and do XYZ, yeah, you're done. You're done. But this also increases the stakes, because now we can't have you out in the field like it's a big risk because you have a baby growing inside of you right now. This is my thing. You can go back, or you can chill and wait here. So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was also interesting. Of course, Ellie and Dina having this moment like directly after all of that has just happened, where we get an HBO sex scene here.
Very tame for HBO.
Yeah, very well done. Very well done. But yeah, we get that further even showing the love that Ellie and Dina have, which we already knew. Oh, yeah, I'm not really into girls. Yeah, okay.
Girl, yeah.
As we get more of Dina's background story of her dealing with her sexuality, starting from her parents, her mom, pretty much telling her to, go ahead and shove that down. Go ahead and suppress that. No, you only like boys. I thought that was interesting to, because you normally don't hear that from women.
It's like, very real.
with other women like, or with their daughters. I feel like women like more supportive of people coming out and transition stuff like that. So like to hear that, like, because like you said, you don't always see that, like where your mom's disappointed that you like. I mean, maybe I just live in 2025, and not to say like I haven't seen that ever happen in fiction, but I've never actually seen it in real life. That's why it's always surprising to see like, okay, your mom wasn't supporting you. That's kind of weird. Okay, well, she really wanted. You still getting your grandkid.
Yeah, you definitely are. It's very real. And I like, there was something earlier when this scene was happening. When they came into town, they had like all this pride symbolism there, like the pride flag and stuff like that. And it's so interesting because they don't know what pride is. Like they don't know what that means. They just think it's like, oh, this rainbow town, it's awesome, like or whatever. But I do like the scene too. I think it's really, really good. I like the emotions and stuff like that, and the sexuality, discovering sexuality, and having parents maybe not agreeing with it. It's so real. It happens to a lot of people, so it's good to see something like this out there. And yeah, be gay and do crime. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I keep forgetting like Ellie is like in this particular world. And again, I want to say, because The Last of Us came out in 2013.
Yeah.
That the date that everything happened was 2013. Again, I'm gonna double fact check that by the next one. But again, I think the children that are like born into this world that have no sense of like anything that wasn't this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting, or they just weren't around. Depends on. So I think they gotta be at least like. Dina and Ellie are gonna be at least like 19 or 20.
I think they're 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense there. But yeah, like I said, we upping the stakes. We know Dina wants to have this baby with Ellie and retire like every old cop on the force.
Yeah.
which would definitely indicate that Dina was dying. Which if they hit the swerve on that, that'd be crazy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Crazy. People will be pissed.
I will be mad.
No
one touched Dina or the horse.
Oh my goodness. And then we as we get that, we get our plan to explore the world together and retire. We get on the roof because they hear from the old radio. And they pretty much found their next target. That was a pretty cool scene, like them like blowing up the town.
Yeah.
Which I thought they were shooting through the town, which I thought was pretty cool.
I did like that scene.
Ellie tells Dina to park it. Like, look, it's too much on the table now. No, we can't do that. Like, this is my thing. But Dina ride or dies. Like, now we're going solo with this baby. So
there you go.
2 months pregnant, 3 months pregnant.
That's so good.
And of course we end the episode here. This is a great episode.
I loved it. That was really good.
They hit a lot of good points for me from the guitar scene, the relationship between Dina and Ellie, again for me, which is something that I really appreciate. The action, obviously the tunnel scene with the infected, seeing Jeffrey Wright, being surprised by that because I did not know he was going to be in the show. This was a really good episode. Really good episode. I'm sorry. What did you think of? I think we talked about it again. Just kind of further after we gone through it. Was there something that really stood out to you, or something that really like solidified this is like a good episode? Like what particular part?
Yeah, no, I think everything you said was right. Like I think a lot of the standout stuff that did happen was great. I like Jeffrey Wright. I do like Dina and Ellie's relationship, and kind of like seeing them interact together was really cute. I think they're really cute together.
Yeah.
And I like the discovering his sexuality and stuff. As someone who's part of the community as well, it's great to see that on TV now.
Absolutely.
So it's really cool.
Absolutely. Everybody deserves to be seen, man. Stop being weird.
Stop being weird.
It's 2025. Stop being weird.
Yeah.
But, nah, man. They look. I was so nervous about The Last of Us 2 and the kind of direction, they were gonna go. Bella not kind of fitting the role to a certain extent. Like, I think they bring a great energy, and Abby, I still kind of whatever about that, because I do want kind of a more muscular chick, like give it like an Oscar. But like I said, but this is completely new interpretation.
Yeah.
I gotta accept this for what it is and keep it moving. You can't be She-Hulk and the last one apparently. So
yeah, me and my friend were actually having a conversation about this as we talk about this show a lot, and it's like having, you know, an Abby who's so big, in a sense, would it make sense? In the sense of like having them go against like Bella Ramsey, who's like super small, and just having this big bulked up Abby, and they're gonna fight each other. Like it doesn't make sense. Like I feel like in the game, both Abby and Ellie are at least like in the same weight class, like in the game. Like, you know, they look like they're in the same height.
Yeah.
Like at least, like I feel like Bella Ramsey's so small.
Yeah,
like,
Abby's a little bit taller, but from how Bella is a little. I think that's what's kind of throwing me off too, is that Ellie game wise, like by the time you get to the second one, is a lot bigger, like a lot taller. But according to the 3D specs of that character,
yeah, it makes more sense to have like maybe a buffed up Ellie. Like I could see them two going against each other, you know, in like a fist fight. But if I see like a bulked up She-Hulk Abby beating up Bella Ramsey, it's like, well, that's not fair. Like he's still small. Like,
I mean, I guess that definitely makes sense, because you want to have a more realistic mirror.
Yes, exactly. It has to be a little bit more realistic than it is in a game, you know. So, and then also it's like, are 19-year-olds that muscular?
Yeah.
Like, what was our buddy? Yeah. Females? I don't know. Maybe
I've seen them. It's scary. I don't like it. Why are you made like this?
I guess maybe. Maybe. But maybe I haven't came across some. But
I'd be scared of that too, because like, man, like as a kid, like to make that level of sacrifice to build that level of muscle and like almost never eat. Certain days, like I'm just eating chicken every day is crazy. Like, man, no, I'm going crazy as a kid. Like, why you have the opportunity and the metabolism to do so?
yeah. But I feel like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm seeing some swole 19-year-old roll up on me. I'm pretty scared.
But yeah, no, that the way they are now is realistic. It looks more realistic to me. Yeah.
I'm not mad about it show wise. I can always go back to that medium if I want to see She-Hulk Abby. You know what I mean? So that's cool. It's me choking up, you know, other people breaking their necks. That's so cool. You know, you feel the vibration when you break people's necks. I don't know why I'm excited about that, but yeah. So, in closing of this whole thing, we got to see Jeffrey Wright. We got really cool action scenes. Me and you both want to see more Ellie and Abby. Sorry, what did I say? Dina and Ellie.
Yeah.
I hope
we want to see Ellie and Abby too eventually.
That's probably season 2. They probably gonna make us wait.
Yeah.
Which I'd be cool with. I'd be cool if they bring it up like that. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. I want to see Abby next episode. I'm hoping she has like a solo, so we can get more of her current world and like what's going on in her perspective of the situation, because we don't get much of it, and you know, between 1 and 2, they don't really give you full story to really make you understand why she's driven to the point that she is. So I think we're kind of missing that information to why we hate Abby to this certain extent. But like I said, it was a great episode. 5 stars, 10 out of 10. Oh, was it 10 out of 10? Probably 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
But it was great. It was great. Was there anything else that you had on the episode that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, no, everything was good. I liked it.
Well, thank you, Kate Herron, for directing that episode. We thoroughly enjoyed it. This has been episode 4 of season 2 of The Last of Us, the most infamously hated video game franchise of all time. No, people love it. That's right. Yeah, people keep hating it and they keep buying it. That is a relationship I don't understand.
Do we have 4 more to go? Is it 8?
I believe this season is only 6 episodes.
6?
I believe so.
What? Oh my god.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, because they were splitting it up because they are. If you look on IMDb, it's like it's you see a season 3. So I think it is split like this for only 6. The first one I think was 9. So
we're almost done.
Probably, yeah. We like 2 or 3 more episodes. Yeah.
What?
Don't hold me to that. We could be doing more.
We could be doing more. I'm gonna check on that.
But when I checked, I believe I saw 6.
Okay.
But yeah, like you guys know the drill. Leave us a comment. Me and Stevie here. We're gonna read those comments. I don't know if you've been reading any of them on the page, but they've been hilarious. I think I might include answering your questions in the next few for everybody that has been watching the show. We definitely appreciate you guys for taking the time.
Yeah.
We're having fun doing this. We hope you're having fun watching. We try to bring some energy to this. Last of Us, we're one of the few review channel like whatever's that's not hating on it probably. So
yeah.
but we having a good time over here. We're gonna watch the rest of the season. But on that note, episode 4, season 2, this is Terrell and Stevie, and we will see you later.